Is this the next big game in twin stick arcade shooters? Let's find out today on Indie Game Reviews. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Good Shot from Good Shot Gaming, and today we're going to be looking at an indie game for our Indie Game Reviews. The game that has been chosen today is going to be Centroid, which is a top-down arcade shooter, and I'm going to be full, open, and honest with my opinions on it. It comes out the 19th of July. At first glance, I had some troubles getting the game to work. I didn't have my Xbox One controller readily available for my computer, so I decided that I would go ahead and give the game a try on mouse and keyboard, which I wasn't able to get to work at all. And so that was a little off-putting to me. I actually said, you know what, I'm just going to do this tomorrow. I'm not going to worry about it. Well, then I decided, well, okay, I'll go get my Xbox controller. I'll sit down. I'll try to play it. We'll see if, maybe it's just a setting that I hadn't looked at or hadn't tweaked, or maybe I tweaked the setting too much. So I figured I would just get the Xbox controller and see what would happen. And I fired it up with the Xbox controller and it worked perfectly. The website does say that Xbox controllers are in development, but I had no problems with it at all. I think the Xbox controller worked great. I didn't get a chance to try it with a PS4 controller. I would assume that would work great as well. The only thing I had issues with was mouse and keyboard. So getting into the actual game, you are a ship surrounding a planet, and your whole goal is to kind of destroy all of the asteroids and other interstellar objects or giant laser things that are trying to attack your planet. And I think it's a very interesting concept because you're basically working in an orbit. Everything's orbital with the exception of meteorites. They basically fly straight in and try to hit your planet, but everything else collapses within an orbit, which I think is really neat. When I got the email to review the game, that was one of the first things that struck me is, oh, that's actually kind of cool, because I am a huge science fiction nerd. I love all things space, and that's something that space has in common everywhere, is all these orbits and stuff like that. So I was very curious to see how that would play into it. Something I didn't take into consideration would be that ship flying in orbit, it's only shooting left or right. You can't spin the ship and shoot in 360 degrees, at least not that I've been able to find. But I think that adds to the gameplay. I don't think it detracts from it, because you have to kind of think about what you're going to do. And if you expand out, your circle, your orbit is larger, so it takes longer to traverse. So you shoot back in and you come close to the planet and you kind of cut across almost, and cut a lot of the travel time around getting around the map. So I thought that was a really neat little thing, a little neat game mechanic. I like the graphics of it. I think the graphical style is very appealing. It's not 80s retro, but it's not, next gen graphics. I mean, we're talking, it's an indie game. The graphics are actually pretty good. I very much enjoyed the graphics. There's these little particle effects when you kind of destroy the asteroids, or you collect a shockwave pickup and you use it. And all the little graphics and colors, I think, really kind of stand out. All of the different asteroids that are trying to collide with your planet are all different colors, and I even noticed if you fly, you destroy one and you're too close to the explosion where it happens, you get this little vibration through the controller. I thought that was all done very well. I had recorded video for this. I'm sitting there and I launched it once to make sure it worked, and then I immediately started recording. And I found that I played it for almost an hour, I believe, just nonstop. I wasn't even thinking about what I was doing anymore. I was just, can I get this score? Can I get a little bit higher? Let me try out the harder difficulties. Speaking of difficulties, easy was great to start out with. I don't think I would play a lot of easy mode. It's not that it was too easy, it was just that I think going from easy, medium, and hard, where the gameplay is a little faster, I think easy is a little on the slow side to go back to. but to just kind of learn all the little basics and everything, easy was great. Medium is probably more my play speed. Everything's a little more sped up. The asteroids come in quicker. You've got to, bounce all over the place, and you're zooming in and out and doing all these things. And I think medium is a good pace for me. Hard, I got beat up pretty good and hard. Not that I didn't enjoy it. I still enjoyed it, but I was definitely working. And I think Centroid is more of a game where I want to sit back and just play. I just want to. I don't want to have to work too hard, and that is what hard is. And the hard has its place, but it wasn't necessarily for me. One thing I would like to see an improvement upon or a change, and it may be done for to help gameplay move along, but I would like to be able to see a ability to collect shockwaves. I think that'd be great. I've had a couple of times, actually many times, where I was saving the shockwave for this big rush that I never really had, so I didn't want to use it. I figured I would save it, and then another one would pop, and it's like, oh well, I gotta use this one now in order to pick up the next one, because you could only have one at a time. So I'd like to see you be able to collect, maybe not infinitely, but maybe 3, just in case you want to. I'll use it here, or, you can kind of save up. That is one critique that I do have. Probably one of the few critiques I have. I don't have a lot of negative things to say about this game. I enjoyed it for what it is. Pulling up the website. It is on itch, which I did not know was a thing. Apparently it's an indie game kind of store. Totally never heard of it before. I'm going to leave a link for this game down below. So make sure you go check it out. But, I just signed up for it. It was not a big deal at all. Email address and a username, your typical, sign up for this game store. And it is $4.99 or more US dollars. And so I believe you can, if you want to donate more to the developers for the game, you can. But their minimum price to get the game is $5. And for $5, everybody's different. I'm not going to say if you're broke and destitute, go spend $5 on Centroid. But, if $5 is worth an hour of entertainment or more, absolutely go check it out. Honestly, I'll probably come back to this even more. I'm not bored with it after an hour. So I'd highly recommend checking it out for $5. It's definitely worth it. But yeah, let's go over a few things on their website. So the game is technically still in early access. I don't know. I know the game is releasing on the 19th. I don't know if it's going to be a release out of early access or if it's going to stay in early access. I'm not sure how exactly they plan on going about that, or how many more features they want to add. I don't really have any of that information. I do know that it felt pretty fleshed out. Like I said, the keyboard thing, only issue. Really, if you're playing an arcade game, keyboard and mouse, not the way to do it. It's a twin stick kind of game. Anyway, so this is their website. $4.99. Planet Centroid, mankind's last escape in a dying universe. The cosmos themselves are raining down. Defend it with everything you've got. Nice little catchphrase there. This is the Planet Centroid a few times over. I'd have to go back and look. I don't remember if the planet changed every time. That would be interesting. And so you can see here that you can play it with a DualShock, which apparently is the preferred method of using it. Mouse and keyboard, which like I said didn't work. An Xbox One controller, which is in development. I had no issues at all with the Xbox One controller. It worked great. Yeah, and it's 43 megabytes. It's not a big game. It's in Unity. It's on the Unity engine. Yeah, guys, just make sure you check it out. Will it be the next big thing in twin stick arcade shooters? I don't know. I'd like to see it move over to Steam. I don't know what deals they have. I don't know what's, I don't know anything about what they've got going on. I think Steam would be a good location for it, just to get some, recognition, I think, Steam's going to be a little bit more user-friendly. It's going to be where a few more people are going to be hanging out. But, I mean, Itch might be too. Itch might be indie game like heaven. I'm not familiar with it. I play a lot of indie games, but I don't play so many that I've ever joined an indie game community. So I'm actually really curious to check out Itch and find out what more is here. If you want to talk about what I played it at, I played it at 1440p, and it ran smoothly. I had no optimization issues with it on my computer. There was no lag or anything like that. All right, guys. Well, thanks for sticking around and listening to me talk about Centroid. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I'll leave some comments here and, go check it out. Thanks, guys. Catch you next time.